The stars twinkled in the night sky over the International Space University. It was a quiet evening, but inside one of the dorm rooms, two students were wide awake. Zara, a human girl with curly black hair and bright eyes, sat cross-legged on her bed. Across from her, lounging in a floating chair, was Vorthal, her alien classmate. Vorthal looked almost human, except for his blue skin and the small antennae on his head. He waved his three-fingered hand as he talked. "So, Zara, do you understand how black holes work now?" Zara nodded, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "I think so. They're like big space vacuums that suck everything in, even light." Vorthal laughed, a sound like tinkling bells. "That's close enough for now. We'll work on it more tomorrow." As Vorthal got up to leave, he suddenly wobbled. His blue skin turned a pale lavender. "I don't feel so good," he mumbled. Zara jumped up, worried. "Vorthal, are you okay?" But before she could reach him, Vorthal collapsed on the floor with a soft thud. "Vorthal," Zara cried out. She knelt beside him, her heart racing. What should she do? Should she call for help? But just as she reached for her phone, Vorthal's eyes fluttered open. They weren't his usual bright green eyes. Instead, they glowed an eerie purple. When he spoke, his voice sounded different, deeper and more serious. "The Black Warships are coming," he said in a monotone. "The Galactic Council's secret weapon. They can destroy planets. Earth is in danger." Zara's mouth fell open in shock. "What? Vorthal, what are you talking about?" But Vorthal didn't seem to hear her. He kept talking, his voice getting louder. "The ships are hidden, cloaked. No one can see them. But they're there, waiting. The Council thinks humans are dangerous. They want to stop Earth before it's too late." Zara's mind was spinning. Galactic Council, Black Warships, destroying planets. It sounded like something from a crazy sci-fi movie. But Vorthal looked so serious, so scared. Suddenly, Vorthal blinked hard. His eyes returned to their normal green color. He looked around, confused. "Zara, why am I on the floor?" Zara helped him sit up, her hands shaking a little. You fell down. And then you started saying some really weird stuff." Vorthal tilted his head. "Weird stuff? What do you mean?" Zara took a deep breath. "You were talking about black warships and a galactic council. You said Earth was in danger. Do you remember any of that?" Vorthal's face went pale, almost white. I said that. Out loud. He looked terrified. Zara nodded slowly. "Yeah, you did." "Vorthal, what's going on? Is this real?" Vorthal jumped up, pacing back and forth. His antennae were twitching wildly. "I shouldn't have said anything. This is bad, really bad." Zara stood up too, her curiosity overcoming her fear. "Vorthal, please, tell me what's happening. Are we really in danger?" Vorthal stopped pacing and looked at Zara. He seemed to be having an internal battle. Finally, he sighed. "Okay, I'll tell you. But you have to promise to keep it a secret. If anyone finds out I told you, we'll both be in big trouble." Zara nodded eagerly. "I promise. I won't tell anyone." Vorthal sat down on Zara's bed, and she sat next to him. He spoke in a low voice, as if afraid someone might overhear. "What I said, it's all true. There is a galactic council. They're like the government for most of the aliens in our galaxy. And they do have black warships." Zara's eyes widened. "But why would they want to hurt Earth?" Vorthal looked sad. "The council is scared of humans. Your species learns and grows so fast. They're afraid that if humans join the galactic community, you might take over." Zara frowned. "That's not fair. We're not bad. We just want to explore and learn." Vorthal nodded. "I know. That's why." He hesitated, then seemed to make up his mind. "That's why I'm part of a rebel group." Zara gasped. A rebel group. Yes. Sorfel said. We don't agree with the council. We think humans should be given a chance. We've been trying to stop the black warships, but it's not easy. Zara's head was spinning with all this new information. But one thing was clear. She wanted to help. What can we do? There must be something. Sorfel looked at her with surprise. Zara, this is dangerous. You could get hurt. But Zara shook her head stubbornly. This is my planet we're talking about. I want to help protect it. Sorfel smiled, looking relieved and worried at the same time. Okay, but we have to be careful. First, we need to gather more information. Just then, there was a knock at the door. Zara and Sorfel jumped, startled. Zara, are you still up? It was Dr. Amelia Chen, Zara's mentor and favorite teacher. Zara looked at Sorfel, panicked. He nodded, mouthing, "It's okay." Zara opened the door. Dr. Chen stood there, looking concerned. I heard voices. Is everything all right? Zara forced a smile. Yes, Dr. Chen. Sorfel and I were just studying late. Dr. Chen looked past Zara at Sorfel. For a moment, Zara thought she saw something strange in her teacher's eyes. But then Dr. Chen smiled warmly. All right, but don't stay up too late. You have a big test tomorrow, remember? Zara nodded. We won't. Good night, Dr. Chen. As soon as the door closed, Zara turned to Sorfel. That was close, she whispered. Sorfel nodded, looking troubled. Zara, there's something else you should know. We think there might be council spies here on Earth, maybe even in this school. Zara's eyes widened. Spies? But who? Sorfel shook his head. We don't know for sure. It could be anyone. That's why we have to be very careful who we trust. Zara sat down heavily on her bed. It was all so much to take in. This morning, her biggest worry had been passing her astrophysics test. Now she was part of a secret alien rebel group, trying to save Earth from space warships. What do we do now? She asked. Sorfel sat next to her. For now, we act normal. Go to classes, take your tests. But keep your eyes open. Look for anything unusual. And whatever you do, don't tell anyone what you know. Zara nodded solemnly. I won't. I promise. As Sorfel left her room, Zara lay back on her bed, staring at the glow and the dark stars on her ceiling. They didn't seem as magical now that she knew real danger lurked among the real stars. But as scared as she was, Zara felt a spark of excitement too. She was part of something big now, something important. And no matter what happened, she was determined to help save her planet. With that thought, she closed her eyes, dreaming of black warships and alien rebels, and the adventures that were sure to come. Finding the truth. The next morning, Zara woke up feeling like she hadn't slept at all. Her mind was still buzzing with everything Sorfel had told her. Black warships, the Galactic Council, alien rebels. It all seemed like a crazy dream, but she knew it wasn't. As she got ready for class, Zara kept looking over her shoulder. Sorfel had said there might be spies at the school. Now, everyone looked suspicious. Was that alien student watching her? Did that human professor know something? In her first class, Advanced Astrophysics, Zara couldn't focus. She kept thinking about the black warships. How big were they? How did they work? Could Earth's technology even stand a chance against them? Zara, are you with us? Dr. Chen's voice snapped Zara back to reality. Oh, yes, sorry, Dr. Chen, Zara said, blushing. She noticed Dr. Chen looking at her closely, a small frown on her face. Was she just concerned about Zara's lack of attention, or was there something more? After class, Dr. Chen called Zara to stay behind. Zara's heart started racing. Had Dr. Chen somehow found out about last night? Zara, is everything all right? Dr. Chen asked, her voice gentle. You seem distracted today. Zara forced a smile. I'm fine. Dr. Chen. Just didn't sleep well last night. Too much studying, I guess. Dr. Chen nodded, but she didn't look convinced. You know you can talk to me if something's bothering you, right? For a moment, Zara was tempted to tell Dr. Chen everything. But then she remembered Sorfal's warning. Trust no one. I know, Dr. Chen. Thank you. As Zara left the classroom, she didn't notice Dr. Chen watching her with a strange look in her eyes. At lunch, Zara met Sorfal in a quiet corner of the cafeteria. We need to find out more, she whispered. About the black warships, the council, everything. Sorfal nodded. I agree. But we have to be careful. If the wrong people find out we're snooping around, we could be in big trouble. Zara thought for a moment. What about the school's computer system? Could we find any information there? Sorfal's antennae twitched excitedly. That's a great idea. But it won't be easy to get in. The system is very secure. Zara grinned. Leave that to me. I'm pretty good with computers. That night, when most students were asleep, Zara and Sorfal snuck into the school's computer lab. Zara's fingers flew over the keyboard as she tried to break into the system. Hurry. Sorfal whispered, keeping watch at the door. Someone could come any minute. Finally, after what seemed like hours, Zara let out a quiet cheer. I'm in. They started searching through files, looking for anything unusual. Suddenly, Sorfal gasped. Look at this. Zara leaned in. On the screen was a file labeled Project Nightshade. Inside were technical specifications for something that looked like a massive spaceship. Is this? Zara started. Sorfal nodded grimly. A black warship. But why would this information be in the school's system? Before they could dig deeper, they heard footsteps in the hallway. Quickly, Zara copied the file to a small device and shut down the computer. They slipped out of the lab just as the night guard turned the corner. Back in Zora's room, they looked over the information they'd stolen. The more they read, the more worried they became. These ships are incredibly powerful, Sorfal said. They have weapons that could destroy entire cities in seconds. Zara felt a chill run down her spine. How can we possibly fight against something like this? Sorfal put a comforting hand on her shoulder. Don't give up hope. Humans are incredibly resourceful. That's why the Council fears you so much. Over the next few days, Zara and Sorfal continued their secret investigation. They overheard snippets of strange conversations, noticed odd behavior from some of the staff, and even caught glimpses of what looked like alien technology hidden around the campus. One evening, as they were discussing their findings in Zora's room, there was a knock at the door. They froze, looking at each other in panic. Zara quickly hid their notes under her pillow before opening the door. It was Dr. Chen. Zara. Sorfal, may I come in? They had no choice but to let her in. Dr. Chen looked around the room, her eyes lingering on Zara's pillow for a moment too long. I couldn't help but notice you two have been spending a lot of time together lately, Dr. Chen said. And you've both seemed distracted in class. Zara's heart was pounding. We've just been studying together, Dr. Chen. The upcoming exams are pretty tough. Dr. Chen smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Of course. Well, don't study too hard. It's important to rest too. After she left, Sorfal turned to Zara with wide eyes. She knows something. We need to be more careful. But being careful was getting harder. The more they discovered, the more dangerous their situation became. They learned that there were indeed council spies at the school, but they couldn't figure out who they were. They found out more about the Black Warship's capabilities, each discovery more terrifying than the last. One night, about a week after their late-night computer raid, Zara woke up to a strange sound. She looked around her dark room, her heart racing. There, by her desk, was a tall figure. Zara was about to scream when the figure spoke. Shay, it's me. It was Sorfal, but he looked different. His skin was darker, almost black, and his eyes glowed faintly in the dark. "Orville, what's going on?" Zara whispered. "We have to go. Now. They know we've been investigating. We're not safe here anymore." Zara jumped out of bed, quickly throwing some clothes and her notes into a bag. As they slipped out of her room, she saw other shapes moving in the darkness. Other aliens, she realized. Orville's rebel friends. They made their way silently through the campus. Just as they reached the gate, floodlights suddenly blazed to life. Alarms started blaring. "Run," Sorthal yelled. They sprinted away from the school, Zora's lungs burning as she pushed herself to keep up with the aliens' longer strides. Behind them, she could hear shouts and the sound of vehicles starting up. Just when Zara thought she couldn't run anymore, they'd reached a small spaceship hidden in the woods. As they piled in, Zara looked back at the school. She saw Dr. Chen standing at the gate, watching them. But instead of looking angry or surprised, Dr. Chen smiled and gave a small wave. As the ship took off, shooting into the night sky, Zara's mind was reeling. Dr. Chen knew. Had she been helping them all along? Havorthal put a hand on Zora's shoulder. "I know you have a lot of questions. We'll explain everything soon. But right now, we need to get somewhere safe." Zara nodded, looking out the window as Earth grew smaller below them. She thought about her family, her friends, everyone she was leaving behind. But she knew this was bigger than just her. The fate of her entire planet was at stake. As the ship jumped to light speed, stars blurring around them, Zara made a promise to herself. No matter what it took, she would find a way to save Earth. The Galactic Council and their black warships had no idea what they were in for. Humans might be new to the galactic stage, but they were far from helpless. The real fight was just beginning. Humans fight back. The small rebel spaceship zoomed through the stars, carrying Zara far from Earth. She sat next to Sorthal, watching alien stars zip by. It all felt like a dream, but the worry in her heart was very real. "We need to warn Earth," Zara said, turning to Exorthal. "They have to know about the black warships." Exorthal nodded. "You're right, but it won't be easy. The Galactic Council has ways to block messages to planets they're targeting." Just then, another alien walked up. This one had purple skin and 4 arms. "I might be able to help with that," she said. "I'm Lyra, the ship's communication expert." For the next few hours, Zara and Lyra worked together. They used the ship's advanced tech and Zora's knowledge of Earth's systems to create a special message. It would slip past the Council's blocks and reach Earth's leaders. Finally, Zara pressed the send button. "Message sent," she said, holding her breath. "I hope it works." Back on Earth, things were quiet. No one knew about the danger coming from space. In the White House, the president was having a normal day of meetings. Suddenly, every screen in the building lit up. The president's phone, computer, even the big TV on the wall. They all showed the same message. Earth is in danger. Alien warships are coming. This is not a joke. Prepare to defend yourselves. Zara. At first, everyone thought it was a prank. But then the message started appearing everywhere. On Times Square billboards, on people's phones, on TV stations around the world. The president called an emergency meeting. "What's going on?" he demanded. "Is this real?" Nobody knew for sure. Some thought it was a massive hack. Others worried it might be true. As they argued, more messages came in. These had pictures of the black warships and details about their weapons. "We can't ignore this," the president finally said. "If there's even a small chance it's real, we need to be ready." He went on TV to talk to the world. "My fellow citizens," he said, looking serious, "we've received information about a possible threat from space. We don't know if it's real, but we're taking it seriously. Stay calm, and we'll keep you updated." At first, many people didn't believe it. They thought it was a movie ad or a government trick. But as more info came out, people started to worry. Scientists looked at the spaceship pictures and said they were like nothing on Earth. Military experts said the weapons described could easily destroy cities. It was starting to look very real. Some people got scared. They bought lots of food and hid in their homes. Others got angry. They said, if aliens want to fight, we'll give them one. All around the world, governments started working together. They shared secret tech and worked on new weapons. Scientists and engineers worked day and night to invent things to fight the alien ships. One day, a young engineer named Maya had an idea. What if we use the aliens' own tech against them? She asked her team. They looked at her, confused. Maya explained. Zara's messages included some alien tech designs. What if we could build our own versions? Her team loved the idea. They started working on new shields and weapons based on the alien designs. It wasn't easy, and a lot of their tests failed. But they kept trying. Meanwhile, Zara and her alien friends were trying to find out more about the Council's plans. They snuck onto a Council space station, looking for info. Look at this, Sorthel whispered, pointing at a screen. It showed the black warships, and they were close to Earth. We're running out of time, Zara said. We need to warn Earth again. They sent another message, this time with the warship's exact location. On Earth, this caused a lot of excitement and fear. The president called Maya to the White House. What's our defense status? He asked. Maya took a deep breath. We've made progress, sir. Our new shields should work against their smaller weapons, and we've built some ships with tech similar to theirs. But we're still not as strong as they are. The president nodded. It'll have to do. How soon can we be ready? Give us 3 days, Maya said. For the next 3 days, the whole world seemed to hold its breath. Factories worked non-stop to build the new weapons. Pilots trained to fly the new ships. Everyone did what they could to help. On the 3rd day, the black warships appeared in Earth's sky. They were huge and dark, blocking out the sun like giant shadows. The leader of the warships sent a message to Earth. Surrender now, or be destroyed. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then, the president's voice came over every speaker in the world. To the Galactic Council forces, we will not surrender. Earth is our home, and we will defend it. We may be new to your galactic community, but we are not weak. We are humanity, and we stand united. If you want to fight, you've got one. As he finished speaking, Earth's new ships rose into the sky. They were smaller than the black warships, but they moved fast, and their weapons glowed with power. The space battle began. The black warships fired their huge weapons, but Earth's new shields held. Earth's ships zipped around, firing back. They couldn't do much damage to the big ships, but they were hard to hit. On one of the Earth ships, Maya worked frantically at the controls. Their shields are too strong, she yelled. We need more power. Just then, Zara's voice came over the radio. Maya, can you hear me? We're in a small ship near you. Maya was shocked. Zara, you're up here. Yes, and I have an idea, Zara said. The black warships have a weak spot. There's a small opening in their shields near the back. If you can hit it with a strong enough blast, you might be able to take down the whole ship. Maya quickly told the other Earth ships. They all aimed for the weak spot on the biggest black warship. It took several tries, but finally, a blast got through. The huge ship shuddered, then started to break apart. The other black warships stopped attacking, surprised by what happened. Taking advantage of their confusion, Earth's ships pressed their attack. One by one, the black warships were damaged or destroyed. Finally, the last warship sent a message. We surrender. We didn't know humans were this strong. We're sorry we underestimated you. A cheer went up from every person on Earth and every human ship in space. They had done it. Earth was safe. In the days that followed, there were big changes. The Galactic Council apologized to Earth and invited humans to join them. Zara became a hero, along with Maya, and all the others who helped save the planet. As Zara stood with her family, watching Earth's new ships prepare for their first peaceful mission to other planets, she smiled. The adventure wasn't over, it was just beginning. Humanity had proven itself, and now the whole galaxy was open to them. What would they discover out there? What new friends would they make? Whatever happened, Zara knew one thing for sure. Humans were ready for anything the universe might throw at them. Big space battle. The sky over Earth was full of stars, but today, some of those stars were moving. The black warships of the Galactic Council had arrived, their huge dark shapes blocking out the real stars behind them. On Earth, everyone held their breath. This was the moment they had been preparing for. In secret bases around the world, pilots climbed into their new spaceships. These ships were smaller than the black warships, but they were fast and packed with Earth's best technology. In the main control room in Washington, D.C., Maya stood next to the president. Her hand shook a little as she looked at the big screens showing the enemy ships. "Are we ready?" the president asked. Maya nodded. "As ready as we'll ever be, sir." The president took a deep breath and pressed a big red button. All over the world, sirens started to wail. It was the signal everyone had been waiting for. The battle for Earth was about to begin. High above the Earth, Zara and Torthol watched from their small rebel ship. "I wish we could do more to help," Zara said. Torthol put a hand on her shoulder. "We've done a lot already. Now it's up to your people to prove the Council wrong." Suddenly, a voice boomed out from the black warships. It was so loud that people on Earth could hear it too. "People of Earth," the voice said, "this is Admiral Zork of the Galactic Council. Your planet has been judged too dangerous to join our galactic community. Surrender now, or we will be forced to destroy you." For a moment, everything was quiet. Then, the president's voice answered, broadcast from every radio and TV on Earth, and transmitted into space. "Admiral Zork, this is the President of the United States, speaking on behalf of all Earth. We will not surrender. We have done nothing wrong. We only want to explore the stars and make new friends. If you attack us, we will defend ourselves. The choice is yours." As soon as the president finished speaking, the Earth's new ships shot up from the ground. Hundreds of them, launching from hidden bases all over the planet. They flew in perfect formation, heading straight for the black warships. Admiral Zork was surprised. He hadn't expected the humans to have spaceships. "So be it," he growled. "All ships, open fire." The black warships lit up with energy. Huge beams of light shot out towards Earth. But before they could hit, something amazing happened. A shimmering shield appeared around the planet, stopping the beams. "It worked," Maya shouted, jumping up and down. "Our planetary shield is holding." The Earth ships reached the black warships and the real battle began. It was like a huge dance in space. The Earth ships were small and fast, zipping around the big, slow black warships. They fired their weapons, leaving scorch marks on the big ships. But the black warships were tough. Their own weapons might not be hitting Earth, but they were keeping the Earth ships busy. Explosions lit up the sky as some Earth ships were hit. In her ship high above the battle, Zara watched with wide eyes. "There has to be something we can do," she said. Just then, Torthol pointed at something on their ship's screen. "Look, one of the black warships is moving away from the others." Zara looked closer. He was right. One ship was leaving the battle, heading towards the far side of the moon. "They're up to something," she said. "We have to check it out." Their small ship followed the black warship. As they got closer to the moon, they saw why it had come here. Hidden on the dark side of the moon was a massive weapon, bigger than anything they had seen before. "Oh no," Torthol said. "That's a planet cracker. It can destroy whole worlds." Zara felt cold all over. If that thing fired at Earth, no shield would be able to stop it. She had to warn everyone. Back at the main battle, things weren't going well for Earth. The Black Warship's armor was too strong. Earth's weapons just weren't doing enough damage. In the control room, Maya was getting desperate. "We need more power," she shouted. "Can we redirect power from the shield to the ship's weapons?" But before anyone could answer, a new voice came over the radio. It was Zora. "Earth Fleet, this is Zora. There's a super weapon hidden behind the moon. You have to stop it before it fires." For a second, everyone was quiet. Then the president spoke. "Can we trust this information?" Maya nodded. "It's Zora. She's the one who warned us in the first place. We have to trust her." The president made a quick decision. "Send half our ships to the moon. The rest keep fighting here." In space, the Earth fleet split up. Half of them flew towards the moon, while the rest kept battling the Black Warships. Admiral Zork saw the ships leaving. "No," he shouted. "Stop them. They must not reach the planet Cracker." But it was too late. The Earth ships reached the moon and saw the giant weapon. It was already starting to glow, getting ready to fire. "We have to take it out now," the lead pilot shouted. All the ships aimed at the planet Cracker and fired everything they had. The explosion was so bright it lit up the whole sky. When the light faded, the planet Cracker was gone. Admiral Zork couldn't believe it. His secret weapon was destroyed. "Fall back," he ordered. "Retreat." The Black Warships started to turn away from Earth. But the Earth ships weren't done yet. They chased after the retreating ships, firing their weapons. One by one, the Black Warships started to explode. Admiral Zork watched in shock as his fleet was destroyed around him. Finally, only his ship was left. A message came in from the Earth forces. It was the president again. "Admiral Zork, your fleet is gone. Your superweapon is destroyed. Surrender now." Zork looked at the Earth ships surrounding him. He couldn't believe that this young species had beaten the mighty Galactic Council. With a heavy heart, he opened a channel to Earth. "People of Earth," he said, "I surrender. We were wrong about you. You are stronger and braver than we thought. The Galactic Council will hear of this." A cheer went up from every person on Earth and every human ship in space. They had done it. Earth was safe. In the days that followed, there were big changes. The Galactic Council sent a peace delegation to Earth to apologize. They invited humans to join the galactic community as equals. Zara became a hero, along with Maya, and all the others who had helped save the planet. As she stood with her family, watching Earth's ships prepare for their first peaceful mission to other planets, she smiled. Zorthal came to stand beside her. "You did it," he said. "You saved your world and changed the whole galaxy." Zara shook her head. "We did it," she said. "All of us, working together. Humans and aliens." As the ships took off, flying towards new adventures among the stars, Zara felt excited. The battle was over, but the real adventure was just beginning. What would they discover out there? What new friends would they make? Whatever happened, Zara knew one thing for sure. Humans had proven they could handle anything the universe might throw at them. The stars weren't something to fear anymore. They were something to explore, to learn from, to make friends with. As the first Earth ship disappeared into the distance, heading for a new solar system, Zara whispered, "Look out, universe. Here we come."